Hey everyone, welcome to Hellotouf, the YouTube channel for camera tech and films. Today I'm going to review The Rest of Us, the new film by Aisling Chin-yee and starring Heather Graham. Let's have a quick look at the trailer.
Oh my god. Okay. Thanks.
What the hell was that?
Your father had a heart attack in the bathtub and he drowned.
I didn't even know he took baths.
I was just looking for the restroom.
But hasn't moved since you lived here.
What do you think the deal is with Dad's will? I'm assuming Dad didn't forget that Rainbow wasn't his only daughter.
Tallulah. Anyway, there's no telling from the outside what's really going on with people.
He hasn't paid the mortgage in 6 months. It'll all go up for auction. The furniture, the house, everything.
You have friends?
Not since I became a homewrecker.
Do you need a place to stay?
So The Rest of Us is a film about Cammy, played by Heather Graham, and really the story is about herself and also the relationships of the people around her. In her immediate vicinity is her daughter Asta, played by the brilliant Sophie Nelisse. She plays a really good character in this film, and also the main kind of focus in the first half of the film is basically between Heather Graham's Cammy and Sophie Nelisse's Asta. There's obviously a dynamic between mother and daughter, and the teenage kind of like trope of, you know, how the mother deals with the teenage daughter. So that's very well realised. You wonder why they have a tempestuous relationship, and there seems to be some tension from the fact that there is no father figure around, and you find out later on in the film that actually the father has left and the marriage has broken down. So that's probably part of the reason why there is a bit of a tempestuous relationship between the teenager and the mother. Other characters in the film include Rachel, played by Jodi Balfour, and a small girl called Tallulah, played by the brilliant Abigail Pinowsky. The two of them are mother and daughter as well, and you quickly realise that actually Rachel and Tallulah are somehow connected to Cammy and Asta, and you realise that actually there's one person that's in between all of them, and that's a guy called Craig. Craig is the father of Tallulah and Asta, and he's basically straight from his first marriage, which was with Cammy, and he's gone over to Rachel, and Rachel is his now wife. You realise that actually Craig has died, and unfortunately that leaves Rachel and Tallulah a bit in the lurch. What also comes to the viewer's realisation is that Craig was actually broke when he died, and so it puts Rachel and Tallulah in a very, very disadvantageous position, and that means there has to be some kind of dynamic when it comes to clearing the assets and trying to sort out the actual home which they get evicted from. It's really nice to see the dynamic played out between Cammy and Rachel and Asta and Tallulah, and the fact is that, you know, you have four women for different points of their lives, and obviously having to deal with this kind of like, you know, unheard of situation, which is, you know, them having to get along to sort of, you know, kind of understand what's best for the children and also what's the best situation. Now, you know, I find it a very kind of like far-fetched premise that, you know, a divorcee and a widow would actually kind of actually have any contact with each other whatsoever, but they do things in a very, very civil way, and ultimately it's Cammy's character that kind of comes to Rachel's and Tallulah's rescue, thinking that, you know, she can't really leave them out on the street, and also, you know, it's about kind of trying to understand the situation and obviously being a bit more human about that, which is actually quite nice to see. So the whole story revolves around the four women kind of coming together, and it is a very matriarchal film from Heather Graham's Cammy's point of view, but also it's really interesting to see how you know, the dynamic between Tallulah and Asta kind of like grows, because these are two stepsisters who inevitably become closer throughout the film. It's and the real kind of like tension is between Rachel and Cammy, where, you know, Jodi Balfour's performance is really good about the kind of frustrated and sort of younger sort of like woman in the whole sort of relationship and affair. And the younger woman of the situation in terms of trying to understand what she has to deal with, knowing that she has nothing in the bank and she's being evicted from her home. What I like about The Rest of Us is it's a really sweet film, and actually the dynamic between the four kind of leads kind of works really well. The focus is on the four women, and it's trying to understand sort of like four women at different points of their lives trying to deal with life, really. It's kind of a coming of age film for all four women, which is what makes the film quite unique. The cinematography is really, really superb. I really like the way it's shot. It's very intimate and very close up. It kind of like does a lot of the sort of like microcosmic aspects of kind of being intimate and, you know, kind of holding on a shot, and shot in a very observational documentary style. I do think what the cinematography could have done, and having worked with the director, could have kind of done more kind of like long distance shots, because it would have been nice to see a bit more macro and kind of wide sort of like shots, as opposed to going straight for the intimacy straight away, because you get in with the characters almost immediately and you want to be relatable. And I understand that Aisling Chin-yee would want to have done that, but I would have liked to seen some contrast where you know, there would have been maybe a macro shot, a wide shot, and kind of like showing the distance and the loneliness to kind of like sort of put these characters into perspective as such by being a bit wider and trying to understand that perspective. And as the characters got closer together, maybe then go a bit more closer with the shots, maybe go a bit more intimate, kind of really get into the character's mindset. But, you know, with the floaty nature of how the camera work is executed, it actually works. It's not too bad. It's just something I would have liked to seen from a slightly different perspective. So yeah, it would have been nice to see that kind of change in the cinematography and the framing of the shots, but actually it's not too bad. It does kind of work pretty well. I just would have liked to have seen that, to be honest. Credit to Heather Graham, this is kind of her film, and Jodi Balfour's Rachel is really good as well. Asta, played by Sophie Nelisse, I think she's one to watch for the future. She's a Canadian actress. And the young Abigail Pinowsky, it's really nice to see the sister dynamic that comes out in this film. So it's a film for women, it's a film for kind of realising actually, you know, how men can kind of mess up situations, and also how women kind of have to pick themselves up pretty much all the time and sort of clean up men's mess as such. It's really good that Ashley Chin-Lee has really used Alanna Francis' script and kind of really hit the beats and hit the notes, and also pulled the wit out of the script for the actors to kind of relish in terms of the dialogue. It's a really sweet coming of age film. So The Rest of Us is available to rent, buy, digitally download and stream on iTunes, and is available right now, so do check it out. The main performances by Heather Graham, Jodi Balfour, Abigail Pinowsky and Sophie Nelisse are very, very good. The cinematography is great, it's really nice and floaty and really worth checking out for the shots. It was shot really, really well. Obviously I have a little bit of a bugbear with the fact that it could have been a bit more interesting, but Ashley Chin-Lee's direction and the development of the film from the script made this a Toronto International Film Festival hit, so do check it out when you can. Hey, thanks for watching the review. If you want to see another review, click here. If you want to subscribe, click here, and also please hit that like button or notification bell, and you'll see more reviews coming up soon. I just want to say that obviously everyone's on lockdown at the moment, so do stay safe, keep washing those hands, and make sure that you keep your distance from people 2 meters apart as well. Not 2 meters, it's about 2 meters. But anyway, just do that and make sure you stay safe, and I will see you soon. Take care.